We thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. Florida was one of the first states to be called in the race for president for Donald Trump. With the exception of Orange County, all of Central Florida chose Mr. Trump.
And we did hear from Trump overnight at his campaign headquarters in West Palm Beach. And that's where we find Josie Carbonari from her sister station. Good morning, Josie. Let's talk about what's been happening there. Things are a lot quieter now than the celebrating overnight.
Yeah, Meredith, Jason, we're not seeing any protesters or supporters really out here. It's pretty quiet, mostly just a large media presence. We're outside of Mar-a-Lago, and it's just down the street from the convention center in West Palm Beach, where Trump held his viewing party overnight. Now, Trump got 277 of the 270 electoral votes needed to win, 30 of the electoral votes coming from Florida. Early this morning, President Donald Trump delivered a victory speech saying it's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us and to put our country first. Take a listen.
We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that.
And back here outside of Mar-a-Lago, security remains tight, and those road closures continue. Reporting live from outside of Mar-a-Lago, I'm Josie Carbonari. Back to you guys.
Josie, thank you for all the insight this morning.
Yeah.
And now at 9:03, Vice President Harris did not appear during her election watch party. Her campaign says that she plans on addressing supporters later on today. The watch party at her alma mater, Howard University in D.C., took on a somber tone as the results came in, showing her Republican challenger with the lead. Some supporters clung to hope that she would pull off a victory. Others, though, left early. Her campaign co-chair thanked those who attended the event last night, as well as campaign staff members and volunteers.
Florida voters have decided Senator Rick Scott is sticking around, but the control of Congress is shifting.
WESH 2's Sheldon Dutez joins us now in studio this morning to break down this crucial race.
Yes, and Florida Senator Rick Scott will keep his seat, as you guys mentioned, after he beat Democrat Debbie Mucarsel-Powell. Here's a look at the results. Scott got 56%, and Mucarsel-Powell walked away with 43%. Now, the ballroom you see here was packed with all of Senator Rick Scott's supporters. He got up on stage for his victory speech last night. Now, the Associated Press didn't have to waste any time calling his victory right after the final polls in the western part of the state closed at 8 p.m. Former two-term governor is now headed back to Capitol Hill for his second term in the U.S. Senate.
I've run businesses. I know how to bring teams together. We've got to have real objectives, and we have to plan to start changing the direction of this country. We got to pay down the debt. We've got to balance the budget. We got to get rid of this inflation. We got to secure the border. There's a lot of things to do.
All right, Senator Scott has his sights set on replacing retiring Senator Mitch McConnell and becoming the next majority leader. Republican senators are set to vote next week on who becomes their next party leader. As for Debbie Mucarsel-Powell, her watch party ended early last night. She thanked the millions of voters who went out to the polls and circled her name on the ballot.
If you think that this Latina right here is giving up on Florida, then I don't think you've been paying attention.
All right, she also said even though she didn't win the battle, the fight is just getting started, guys.
All right, Sheldon, thank you. And let's take a closer look at some of the other races in Orange County. State House District 45 covers southwest Orange County and northwest Osceola County. Democrat Leonard Spencer is running against incumbent Republican Carolina Amnesty. And you can see Spencer has 51% to Amnesty's 49%. Amnesty is currently facing criminal charges, investigators say, for forgery tied to misuse of money at a nonprofit school run by her family. Since her election in 2022, Amnesty has faced ethics inquiries.
In District 39, Republican Doug Bankston is facing his first re-election against Democrat Marcia Summersill. Now, the district lies mainly in North and West Orange County, with a sliver of Seminole County included. Bankston getting 53% of the vote in this race. The state attorney removed from the job by the governor is now set to take her job back.
Monique Worrell won the race for state attorney in Orange and Osceola counties. WESH 2's Bob Hazen is at the state attorney's office. And Bob, she beat the man the governor put in her place.
Worrell won the vote pretty easily, but the question remains whether the governor will suspend her from office again. I want to break down the numbers for you here. Monique Worrell, the Democrat, won 57% of the vote compared to 43% for Andrew Bain, who was running as an independent. Worrell was suspended from the job of top prosecutor last year by Governor Ron DeSantis. He claimed it was because she went easy on criminals. Worrell said that the allegations were false and the move was all political. Bain was the man that the governor put on the job, and even though he campaigned as an independent, Republicans backed him and ran TV ads supporting him. Late last night, Worrell said she is relieved that voters stood by her.
It has been one of the most challenging periods of my entire life. But to know that after all of the lies that have been told and the $2.5 million that was spent to turn you against me, you said no.
Andrew Bain did release a statement last night, too. It says, in part, quote, "I promise to continue leading with integrity, transparency, and a focus on justice. We will maintain a balanced approach, holding offenders accountable while working on solutions to reduce crime and support rehabilitation where needed. My commitment to building a safer, stronger community remains unwavering." Again, the governor has not said whether he plans to take action against Monique Worrell now that she has won re-election. Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
All right, Bob. And there will be several new mayors in office in Volusia County, but we begin with one keeping his seat. Starting in New Smyrna Beach, Fred Cleveland won re-election against Francis Dalton Jr. Cleveland took an overwhelming majority of that vote. In Oak Hill, Ricky Taylor beat out Douglas Gibson by a wide margin. Taylor had 70% of the vote to Gibson's less than 30%. Kelly Marks will be the next mayor of Orange City. She won her race against Lori Scotton by more than 1,800 votes. One mayoral race that's too close to tell is in Pearson. Take a look at numbers. You can see on your screen here. There's just a small margin separating D. Gray Leonard and Samuel Bennett, just 24 votes there. And in Flagler County, Mike Norris won the race for Palm Coast mayor by a wide margin. He secured 63% of the vote. Cornelia Downing Manfrey won less than 20,000 votes, which is just 36%.
And looking at some of the Orange County Commissioner seats up for grabs, let's start with District 1, where incumbent Nicole Wilson is up against Austin Arthur. Now, many developers have been backing Arthur in this race after Wilson pushed back on growth in the county. Here's the results. Nicole Wilson has won with 52%. In District 3, the incumbent, Myra Uribe, is up against outgoing state senator Linda Stewart. While Uribe won the primary, she did not get the 50% needed to avoid a runoff. Uribe with 53% of the vote in last night's race. And in District 5, this seat is open because of term limits. Developer Steve Leary, who also used to be the mayor of Winter Park, faced Kelly Semrad with 57% of the vote.
The results are in for Orange County's supervisor of elections. There were 4 candidates in this race, but Karen Castor-Dentel took the seat with a 40% vote. Sunshine Linda Marie Grund received a 20%, followed by Dan Helm with a 20% and Wes Hodge with 19%. In Volusia County, one of the biggest races was the one for county chairman.
WESH News' Pamela Combe was there when the final results came in.
It was a very tight race, but incumbent Jeff Brower won with 51% of the votes. He was re-elected as the Volusia County chair. At his watch party, people were fired up, excited. Brower was running against car dealership owner Randy Dye, who had endorsements from some of the top leaders and officials in the county. Dye also had some very large campaign donations, but Brower says that clearly didn't matter. Some thought Dye would have a significant advantage over Brower, but that wasn't the case.
I had friends call me and said, there's no way that you can beat your opponent. He's got so much money. He's going to have all the politicians behind him. And the first time I heard that, and I said, well, that really doesn't matter if you have the people behind you. So I went directly to the people, and this is their answer.
Brower has centered his entire campaign over changing development patterns and helping people who continue to flood, and he will continue to do this as the current chair. Reporting in Volusia County, Pamela Combe, WESH 2 News.